Okay, I'm going to make a tutorial on a fast way to make the wood for the project on how I've been doing it so far. So I already chose a base color, and after this I've been adding a layer and not too dark. I've been adding some spots that are darker and lighter. I'm using the door as an example because it's a flat surface, so show some planks off, but also show off an object that has edges. This is not the final for the door at all. Okay. I go in with my lighter color. Let's see, that's too light. Need, let's see, should be more lighter. I don't want too different. That should be good. Just gives them like variation to the wood. The wood looks a little different. And we're gonna blur the heck out of this. I will first do a regular blur, make it a little fuzzy, and then we will go with another directional blur, which I will do a lot. You turn it in the direction your wood is going. Let's see. Oh yeah, I flipped my screen. There we go. Just go in the direction that the wood is going to be going. Mine is going up and down, so I'm going to blur it up and down. Then I think my colors will a little too different, so I'm going to turn that down. Don't like how obvious that line is right there, so 1 sec. Oh, I'm going to smudge it. Let's see. Got it here. That looks better. Okay. Then I'm going to add a layer on top of that. This will be my wood grain. I'm just doing color for every one of these layers. Okay. You don't want it to be too crazy. I always move the Y up 100%. And then this one, just a little bit to give it kind of the streaky look. Like, let's see. I'm going to tile it to make it a little more. Turn that down. Okay. And then mess with the balance until a lot of it's showing through in the background. A lot of the background color showing through. And then I always grab the color I originally filled it with. And from there, darken it slightly. That will give you all the streaks of the direction the wood is going. And then next you do a dot. We're going to do a layer that's going to be where the wood is. I don't know how to describe it. It's dots on the wood. So I'm going to give this a black and white layer, black and white 1. I'm going to make this a little darker so I can see what I'm doing. Going to be all these spots, and then we're going to tile it to make it look. There's smaller spots. Need to turn down. More distinct. Okay, I'm going to turn that down. Okay, now the wood has some texturing on it. I'm going to make this have planks. First layer I do is I take the main base color I was originally using. It's going to be a darker version of it. I'm going to just take this and paint around all the edges. Okay, now that I've gotten around all the edges of the object, I'm also going to paint on where I want the planks to be. For this, because this is a solid thing, and there are pieces going in an opposite direction, these across here would be different planks. These four are sideways planks. So what I would do across here is, this is my up and down layer. I would make a copy of this. I'd put these into folders. And this one, I would say I'm going to add a white mask. If this was like faces, I could select this. I believe I can do, because I think this might be, yeah, see, I can't see, there's no faces to select, so I have to draw this out. I'm going to draw black in this layer to get rid of the wood grain going in the wrong direction. Okay, and then in the second layer, I'm going to tell the folder to have a black mask so it doesn't affect anywhere. And I'm going to draw in white new wood grain where it's supposed to be located. And we're going to tell this one to take its thing and rotate it 90 degrees. The other one, let's see, I'm going to do the same thing for the dots. Let's see. Oh, the dots are really good. We're going to do it like this. Okay, I'm just going to pause it and fix up these lines because they're going to be the death of me. Okay, I wasn't going to, but I split it into some more appropriate lines so I can show this off better. Okay, so from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a line outlining from how the light would be affecting it. So I'm going to take a pretty light color like this, off in the top left from where my thing was. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to outline the planks on how the light would affect them. The light would hit from the top like this. I've chosen that the light's going to come out like this. I don't like what it is. Okay, I've chosen that the light's going to come from up here to the side. No one's going to see mine from the side, but if someone was to see the other one from the side, I'm going to make this smaller so I don't do too much. In case someone was going to see this from the side. Oh. Is the light sitting that way on the top? I'd probably do it like this. Okay, there's my light, and then my dark. Choose them down here. Okay, and I'm going to turn this layer down a ton. Okay, I'm going to add a layer where I draw in the cracks. This is my initial layer for the cracks. Well, not cracks, the lines in the wood. The main thing about drawing the wood is that there are three main ways that you will do the wood. There is this line, which looks kind of like a Y. There is another one where I loop it like this, typically around the sides. There is when you draw a line that's one comes and loops around this way, and the other one will come around this way. That is typically where you would draw like a knot in the wood. And then there's the third thing of doing like a little line like that. And then the obvious line, right? So all of these are the key lines for drawing on top of the wood. I'm not going for a extreme wood look at the moment, so I'm going to tone this down and draw less lines. But those are the way you would draw the lines. Okay, for the purpose of this example, I do think that this is a little extreme on the amount of lines I have, but for the purpose of the example, I'm adding more to make it more obvious what I'm doing. Okay, and then we will add another layer where I will once again grab a lighter color, but this one not as light as the original because that one I had to turn down the opacity on, I think, a little too much. And you have to think if the light is hitting it from this direction, the light shines inside the crack. So you're going to light the side of the crack that would be hit by the light. There's a dark line in the direction that the sun is going. Okay, now that I've added the light side, I'm going to also go over it with same layer. I'm also going to go over it with a dark color. And just recolor pick. This is now going to go on the other side of the cracks. I don't know if that's not dark enough. Okay, hold on. Even darker. Yeah, this is going to go on the other side of the cracks. Okay, now that I've done that on both sides, I'm going to turn down the opacity again. Okay, now that I've defined all the lines, I'm going to go over with another layer and redefine all of the separations between the wood that I've made this far. So I've been using a darker gray color, still in the same spectrum. I even go a little darker because I can turn down this layer if I don't like how how dark it is. I'm going to go over with a smaller line than my original lines were drawn with. Let's see. I like that. We're gonna go even darker. I don't like how gray it is too. Let's see. Like this better? Okay, I'm going to adjust this. Okay, for Jason, I'd say this is good. There's one more layer I might add for your stuff. Yeah. For Jason, I might suggest this. I added a whiter layer just to make it not look like it was black outlined like crazy. Now it kind of has this gray outline, so when it comes to like my door, it would be turning, and that wouldn't be too odd of a thing to be seeing. I'd say make sure you adjust these to wherever you want them. So if you're doing an indoor thing, you don't want to be too crazy. If you're doing an indoor thing, I'd probably keep it really low like this, so it doesn't look too intense. Maybe even bring down that black outline I had a little bit. Not this one. This one I want to be higher. Where's my original outline? This one. For an indoor, I might even turn this down a little bit, make it more like this. This is what I'd probably do for an indoor versus the outdoor. You can see it's nice and subtle. Okay. There we go. That's my tutorial on the wood.